everybody, how are we doing? Welcome to Delkim Live on a Tuesday night. Hope you're all well. I am Lee Romang. I am the commercial director of Delkim. Let's just adjust my screen a little bit. There we go. And we're here for 45 minutes or so every week, talking everything Delkim. And tonight we are going to look in detail at our new digital alarms. Okay, so the Txi-D and Rx-D, and if we have some time, we will also revisit the EVD. That's, you know, we showed a couple of weeks ago, but people did ask last week whether we can go back through it. So yes, you know, that's our product. So we will go through it as best we can. I've got 3 cameras today, so this one's a bit fuzzy. Sorry, I'm having to use the laptop camera. And when we move on to the main business of the night, then hopefully you'll understand we've got some better cameras to look at the actual products as we go along. So good evening to all you regulars. We're on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we're going to do our normal start, which is just to go through some of the basic things that I do get asked on a regular basis, but been doing this since the start of lockdown and still get asked the same thing. So accessories guys, if you are buying the new digital range, you will need the V2 accessories. So it says it on there, V2 safeties or the V2 d-loks. The old d-loks and the old safety backs and the old d-lok shoes will not fit the new products, so you need those. We still make both versions because there's, since 1992, the old versions fit all the Plus range and the original Delkims that we made, the original ones. So, oops, that's the wrong one. You need the older style versions that just say d-lok. They've got a picture of the old products on, so it should be fairly self-explanatory which ones they fit. And these ones have the pictures of the new products on. You'd think that that would certainly help you, and it says V2 on it. The feet, people, are universal. So I get asked, where are the V2 feet? The feet are universal. They fit both the old ones and the new ones. So you don't need to look for V2 feet. The feet are universal. It's just a pack of 3 feet, d-lok, and they will fit all of them. So that is not a problem. The uprights are the same. So if you need replacement uprights, and I'm just grabbing an upright. So there's one now. They're the same on the old and the new. If I grab the old one, that's the old back, just fits in there. And if I grab a Txi-D with the one on the back, there we go, it's a new one, and it just fits in there as well. But it's the back that's different. It's a completely new design that we will come to. So let's do that one. Hangers as well, and I'm sure it will be covered in what we're doing, but the hangers, all our hangers have the same socket. So there's our original Nightlight Pro, and there's one of our more recent slim lights. Also the nightlight indication set all have, and the ES indication all have the same size plug. It's exactly the same, and it fits in your alarm. You see the green little socket there, well, it's got the bung around it, fits in there, no problem at all. And always, guys, this is something that I've been trying to let people know. Probably don't see it quite so well on this one, but always remove your hangers by pulling down on the bobbin head. All right, I'll do it with the slim light so you can see. So put them in like that, but always remove them by pulling down, straight down on the bobbin head. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, but if you're bending down and reaching down to get hold of your alarm, you know, in a rush to pack away, if you start pulling on the plug, you're going to be pulling at angles. You might damage the plug. And the safest way is just let your hanger hang down and just pull straight down on the bobbin head. All the strength is in that cable. That patented cat flex assembly cable has a steel trace wire in there that gives it the strength so it doesn't break. It's the same for these, even though these are slightly longer and slightly thicker. It's exactly the same. So by all means, plug them in like that, but remove them like that, and then you will get, you know, they'll last you a very, very long time. You won't be damaging the plug. I get people who have damaged the plugs, maybe bent them, or they've come loose, and they're intermittent, and it's generally because they're removing them by the plug. It does say in the instructions how to remove them, but people you know, remove them by the plug. but pulling straight down is the best way to do that. So what are we going to talk about tonight? We are going to talk about the TXIDs, the RxD, and give you as much information as we can about what they do, you know, what the functions are, how to use the functions, and if you have any questions as well, then I will try and answer those as best I can. I will be moving away from the screen, as it were, to rattle through what I'm doing there, but I'll try and give you as much of an overview and help on how to set them up and what they do within the time frame that we're allowed. So looks like we've got plenty of people on board, so hello to you, welcome. If you're just joining me, I'm Lee Romang and this is Delkim Live, and I'm going to now talk about the new alarm. So if I switch to this camera, and there you can see I've got my alarms in my nice carry case, and so they fit nicely with the hard cases on. They do fit without, but they're not quite so tight, but there we go, I've got my nice new alarms. So straight away you can see they are very, very sexy, nice quality mouldings, completely, well, new design from the old TXI Plus and the Plus range. They're proper high quality mouldings. We have spared no expense in making sure that the design has been to the highest possible spec that we can, and I've got d-loks on these, but they would normally come with, and that one's got it on there, and it only comes with a bolt. Oh, let's get where the camera is. So there's my bolt while the camera gets in and out of focus, sorry about that. I've got safety back on here, but normally they would come with the plain back, and that's held in with 2 screws that you can see in there. So and you get yourselves a little screwdriver in the pack as well, and that allows you to undo this and put your battery in. I shall grab that while I'm here. Of course, they still all work with our vibration sensor, so that's it there. Oh, there we go. Let's get that in there so you can see. So all still, oh, which way am I going? There we go, I'm doing everything backwards. So that's our vibration sensor whenever it decides to focus on that, and they're all still the same, so all still working on vibration. And what do we have? So if I get that a little bit closer, and we can look at it again on one of the other cameras when we do start get them working and have a rod on them. But we've got R here, and that's for response. We have a volume control. We have 2 push buttons here that turn the alarm on and off, and other various functions. You can change the tone here, mute, also beep speed. Now beep speed is crucial. This is the big step forward on these. On our old ones we had a switch at the bottom, and you had a rotary control with sensitivity. Now everything is on the one control. Is that going to focus? It's going to annoy me if it doesn't. There we go, just about focusing on that. So now response is, you know, absolute 0. We've got a much bigger range of control now for you know, thicker lines, heavier line, and braid. So you can turn it right up or you can turn it right down, and there's no switch. You've got LED functions are mainly controlled with this button on here. So you've got 8 levels of LED brightness. You've got day and night LED brightness. So you can set your brightness for day and your brightness for night time. You just switch between the 2, and you've got our unique painted night marking feature that is part of all our alarms, and that is on the day, sorry, the nighttime mode. Nighttime mode has the night marking, daytime mode doesn't. You got your volume on here. Here's your little aerial, and your vibration sensors in there, so you can see, and you've got some nice molded in bits there. Can you see? Just about focus. So you put your rod on there so it doesn't damage your rod and won't perish, and you can see that it's a really nice robust bit of kit. I'll show you the receiver as well. So there's our receiver. So you've got your 6 LED colours on there. you've got your volume, and then you've got 3 push buttons on here which turn it on and off, and your other functions. And again, it's a high quality moulding, no expense spared, and all of these products are machine coated on our bespoke robotic coating machine. So we've put every effort into making these as robust and as weatherproof as we possibly can. They've been in rain chambers to make sure that there's no little leaks, and we've tidied up everything we can to make sure they are as absolutely as bomb proof as we can. And so far we aim for 100% and we have easily achieved 99%, so we are absolutely over the moon. And it's it's actually going down the amount of returns percentage wise, so we're actually improving as we go along. Every day we get better at making our own product, obviously, and we're looking at little improvements here and there, so they're getting better and better and better and more reliable day in, day out as we learn more about them. But they were always good straight out the box. All right, so they are designed to work in all weathers and do so very effectively. We've had some of the worst rain since the launch, which was June last year. I think it rained for most of the summer and most of the autumn, and they have proved to be pretty damn bomb proof, so we're very, very pleased with that. So what do we do? How do we turn it on? Well, we've put our battery in. Let's assume we put our battery in, and all we do to turn it on is we hold down the 2 push buttons on the front. So there's no longer a tone control, we just turn them on with the 2 push buttons on the front, and now we have a working alarm. And I shall try and blow on that while I see my head. I can't get to that. Let's put my head in the screen, shall I? Okay, so that's all working, and by holding the buttons down here I can change the brightness of the LED. I'll show you how to okay, that's gone into day mode. Day mode is full brightness, and night mode, the default setting. They have default settings out the box, and the default setting is medium brightness for that level 4. There's 8 levels on the night setting. So out the box it is pretty much turn on, good to go. You've got a default tone setting, there's a medium, you set your response, and you can go fishing. All you need to do is pair it with your receiver, which I will show you how to do very shortly, and away you go. So as the tone goes up, that means you're in day, and you let go and it confirms that's in night. If I wanted to change the brightness of the LED, I just hold the button down. So if I hold the button down, you can go through the 8 levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and it just keeps going if you hold the button down. So now I've set maximum brightness in night time, which I wouldn't want to do normally, but it remembers your settings. So however you've set it, it will remember it. So if I want to change that back to level 1, say, I hold that down. Okay, so now that's level 1 brightness in night time, and now that's my daytime, which I'd leave in maximum. And if I put it back to night time, you'll probably see in a minute that the LEDs are glowing up. Oh, can you just see that there? See a little bit of light. It's not the best. I've got a little spotlight on me, so it's not necessarily showing up as well as it can do, but it's got night marking, I can assure you. But what's one of the first things you're going to do? So we'll turn it back off. So basically what you'll need to do probably is you'll want to change the tone, and you'll want to pair it with your receiver once you get your set, and then you can go fishing, and then any other ones are sort of frontline controls that you can play with while you're on the bank. So to change the tone, and this will be, it's set to a medium tone out the box. If you want to change the tone, all you do is you turn the alarm on and keep the buttons held down until you go into setup mode, which is 2 little beeps, and then you can adjust the tone. So keep the buttons held down. Okay, so now I am in setup mode, and by holding the button down, I can go back up and down the tones. There are 64 tones, so you've got plenty of scope for messing about. And if I just press and let go, it repeats the tone. If I press and hold, it will go down let go, press and hold, go up the scale. There you go, ear splitters. So that's probably that's the resonant frequency of a speaker. So that's as loud as it's going to be on that kind of tone. But there's resonant frequencies throughout the range. So you can set your tone. You'll find as you go through there's sort of 3 or 4 loud, louder tones, because that's the resonant frequency of the speaker. So anyway, I've set my tone. That's pretty damn loud. So I'll turn that down a bit. I'm giving that a tap because I've got it up to maximum response. So I've set my tone and I'm good to go. One little thing I'll tell you. Okay, while I'm on here. In setup mode, there's also another little function. Okay, there's something called stealth mode, and that's if you press the right hand button. Okay, I can deactivate the LEDs, and it's just for the nighttime setting. So you can see I press it there and the LEDs go out. I press it, it comes back on again. We get a lot of people who contact us and go, the LEDs are not working. They work if I'm in day mode, but they don't work if I'm in night mode. Something's gone wrong. I've got night marking and it's not working. That's because you've probably been in setup mode, pressed the wrong button, and you've put stealth mode on. So if you've got day LED and you've got night marking and everything else working, then the LEDs will be fine. You just need to turn the stealth mode off. Stealth mode is there, and I shall grab a hanger. If I've got a red hanger, I might have to do something a bit naughty just for time saving and put a different coloured hanger in the alarm, which I should never do, but it should be okay with a red and a blue. Right, never do this, but I will show you. Okay, so let me turn that light away so you can see. Okay, so you can see maybe if that's glowing up. Let's put it into day mode. Okay, so you can see that that's glowing and that's glowing, so that's day mode. Okay, I'll put it into night mode and you can see probably not the greatest because it doesn't like focusing, but that's on. Okay, that's on and that's on. Now if I go and turn this into stealth mode, let me turn the light out that I've got on and that might help the situation. There we go. So I'll put it onto stealth mode. Okay, so now by pressing that you can see the LEDs have gone out. That's now in stealth mode, but you might be able to see there that the LED on that is still on, and I'll probably turn that up a bit in a minute when that times out. And that times out, I'll be able to show you, and then it will. There we go. Right, it's timed out. So I've now got this illuminating, and these run lights and not. So if I increase the brightness, because you can do that in nighttime, you'll be able to see. Okay, so I've got that on maximum brightness, and now if I get a run, the bobbin glows, but the alarm doesn't. And the whole reason for that is, first thing you do is look down at your hanger when you get a run, especially at night time, see if the hanger's moved up or down. So you're not running to see your LEDs, that doesn't tell you what's happened. If you get a couple of knocks, you want to see where your hanger's going. So the reason for stealth mode is to allow you to see where your hanger has moved. And then these will just glow on and have the night marking feature. So that's the idea of that. Okay. So let me show you now how to pair them, because that will be the next thing that you'll want to do. So we turn the alarms off. I'll take them out their cases, and they should all be off. And we'll turn our receiver on. Now, that's paired because obviously I've been playing with these earlier. If you do get a receiver that does that when you turn it on, that means it's already been paired. So this is something people have already got them, or you know, you're just getting them. Maybe the shop's played with them, demonstrated something, and you know they're paired. You cannot add alarms to or can't pair extra alarms to the receiver without clearing the memory of all of them. You either have to pair all at once or not at all. You can't add to it. So you must, you know, clear the memory first. It should come to you already clear. That out the box, it should already be clear. But this is how you clear the memory. You wait for 2 beeps. And you hold the button down. That's called mem clear. And if you ever had to do that, that's what you have to do. And now it starts up, and that's how it should. So you can see the purple LEDs flashing. So now that's asking me, I'd like to pair my alarms, please. I'm just going to put all these in the first 3 channels. Doesn't matter what colour they are, just to make life easier. So I'm going to turn on number 1. Okay, I'm going to turn number 2. And I'm going to turn number 3. Alright, now they have just all paired because it confirmed and moved along each colour. This is an EV, so it's not got a radio in, so I don't need to do that one. And to confirm, we just press the button, which is push button 1. And we skip over the LED colours. That's now done. So that's it. Done. You don't have to pair again unless you want to add another alarm at some point. Then you would have to clear the memory, do the mem clear, and start again. So now, is that one on? There we go. That's coming through there, and the white one's coming through there. So now they are all paired. Okay, so they're all coming through there. That's it done. So I've set my tone, I've paired my alarms, and now I go fishing. So Kevin Ansell, you said that you know it's. Oh, sorry, wasn't yourself? Sorry, technically challenging. Mark Wheeler. They are all set to presets. So you just go and fishing. So there, I've set my tone. I've gone into a little bit more detail on some other things, but you set the tone. I've paired it, and now I go fishing. So it's pretty, you know, straightforward, and you can just use them as you would have used your TXI pluses if you want to, because all the response is on the one control. Sensitivity, you don't have to worry about beep speed. You can play with the LED brightness if you want, but again, that's preset for you, and you can just go fishing. So it's pretty, you know, simple to use. You know, they've got a lot of features which I will, you know, go through a few other things shortly, but you can just turn them on and go. So now you can use them exactly how you like. I can set my responses, and away we go. So what else can I do with my TXIDs? Okay, another feature that we've added over the other ones is we have, and I'll turn that down on that one, we have mute. So now this is muted. Okay, I've turned the volume down on the receiver. It does not mute the receiver. So if it comes through the receiver. Get asked that quite a lot. Why does it not mute the receiver? If I mute the receiver, then if somebody presses mute on my nice new TXIDs and it mutes the sound on the receiver, see you later. They can have the whole lot away and you wouldn't know. So that's why it mutes the speaker on the alarm. It doesn't mute the transmission. That is a security feature. And we have some additional security features which I will come back to. So just it mutes for about 5 minutes, or you just press the button and then you're back up and running. So just to press that button, that mutes. So I'll turn that down. So you see that one, so that's muted, and the LED will flash while it's in mute, and you can't do any of the other functions while it's in mute, so you have to come out of mute first before it does anything. So it's pretty straightforward. LED brightness we've been through. So again, just to remind you, hold down the button and you can choose your brightness between. I've got that in stealth mode, haven't I? I've done it myself because I was playing with it. But you can adjust your brightness. You can adjust your brightness for your day and your night. There we go, so we're back up and running, and it remembers your settings. Okay, so that's the key. It remembers your settings. This is like a TV. I've said this loads of times. Your TV, your flat screen on your wall, has 100 different functions. You've got dynamic contrast. You can set the sound for when you're watching sport or a movie or music or anything like that, or you know, the picture will change. It's got eco settings, but you just turn it on and you watch BBC or whatever it is you're watching once you tuned in. That's the same. This, you can just turn it on, use it, no problem. If you want to start playing with the functions, then you can. So it's a case of, you know, just getting used to the product, and then do you want to play with it? So again, that's daytime and that's nighttime. So I can adjust the brightness of that. You can't adjust the brightness of the night marking. The night marking is fixed. So that's the same across all the colors. The night marking is fixed. You don't adjust the night marking. You just adjust the actual brightness from when you get a run. So that's the one function there. The other real critical function is the beep speed. And beep speed is the big move forward, and that's done by this button here. I will come on to beep speed when I've got an alarm on the rod, and that will be more explanatory than me just pressing the buttons here. They're the frontline functions, so really it's not that complicated. So you've got your response, you've got your volume, you've got your mute, you've got your LED brightness you can change, or you can switch to day and night, and then you've got your beep speed, which is just by holding the button. Okay, there's 8 beep speeds. That's just to show you there's 8 beep speeds. Beep speed 4 is the default, and that's just like your TXI or any plus range alarm. So it's just that's how it is out of the box. So you can just go out efficiently. So that is that. You don't have to do it. So it's not that complicated. It's not that many features. They're just different. They're just one less control. There's no rotary control, and you have to press one more button. So people throw their dummies out. They go, oh, well, it's too complicated. Well, I've added a button and took away a rotary control. That's all I've done. So, and took away a switch. So actually, in certain respects, we've made life a little bit simpler. But that's how it is. What else have we got on here? Another great little feature is that we have increased security. So if I turn the alarm off, if I turn it on, so there's our anti-theft. You can just hear that. So that's our normal anti-theft. So if somebody turns the alarm off, it sends a signal to the receiver, and then pressing any button on the receiver cancels that. We'll go through the receiver stuff shortly. Right, so if I now want to set what we call the IMU, so it's the movement detection system, I hold down the buttons, let go and hold this one down, and now that little indication is now the IMU is set. So it takes about, I don't know, about 20-30 seconds for it to settle down. So you would do that to each of your alarms if you were settling down for the night, or you're moving out your swim, you just wanted to add the security to it. And basically what will happen is that if somebody physically tries to move your alarms, it will set the alarm off the receiver. So they can't, you know, if they turn it off, it will set the alarm off on the receiver. But if they physically move the alarm as well, and let's see if that's going to do that now. Probably not going to. If I shake it around, it's not settled yet. There you go. It sets it off. So once it sets itself, if I was, oh, still works. So if that was setting there, and then somebody tried to take it, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's coming through there because I've just moved it. Do that again. There you go. That's just me resting it on there. Set it off, and just press any button on there. So once it's, there you go, once it sets itself, I left it but not quite long enough to set itself. So you can see if I move it, it sets it off. So that's your movement detection system. Okay? So it's another level of security that no other bike alarm manufacturer has, and just an extra peace of mind on how it works, you know, so that you can set that at night. And of course, the more you've got, the more likely it is to set it off. So if you've got 3 IMUs all set and then somebody tries to take the pod or banks it, then you know you've got 3 chances of it being set off, and it just, you know, even more secure. You know, that's how that works. Another little thing that people talk about is if you want to fit our hangers, okay, there's two little holes in the front. You will need one of these. Oh, there we go. One of these, which is for the duocarb, or you'll need one of these, which is for the slim carbs, which is the slim lights or the night indication sets, and they fit in the front there. Pushes in, and now you can clip your arms, and that clips on the front there, like that. All right, so that's how you fit them. Get lots of people asking how I fit on. They try and use the bases that come with them. That will not work. So that's how you do that. It's me knocking everything sensitive there, so I'll turn that down. By the way, to deactivate the IMU, you just turn the alarm off. The anti-theft will go off, but that deactivates. So every time you switch the alarm off and back on again, it will cancel the IMU. The reason that it's not on there permanently is it does take more battery than just fishing normal. So if you don't need it, and not everywhere you need, you know, that level of security. You know, not everywhere somebody's going to have your stuff every 5 minutes. So that's why it's not on permanently. It's not a memorized setting. The other settings, LED, and the, you know, your tone and the beep speed are all memorized. So we're going to move on to the receiver, and there's some great little features on the receiver. You can adjust the vibration, very, very simple. That's a push button on the front. You can turn it off, the vibration. You turn it on. So you can have it vibrate once, twice, or 3 times. Very, very simple, and it will memorize that setting. A great setting is, oh, I've turned that. That's how. So you can activate and deactivate the anti-theft. Again, anti-theft is on there as a default because, you know, we don't want people to, you forget that you haven't got your anti-theft set and steal your stuff. But if you hold the outer 2 buttons, you can turn the anti-theft off if you wanted to. We have a great feature called the run light, which does away with any need of a bivy light. So if I get, I'm just going to tap this to simulate a run. What did I turn that off? Sorry. There we go. So if I get a run, eventually after 4 seconds, all the LEDs will light up, and that gives you emergency illumination in your bivvy. So that looks great at night. You just hang it up above your head where you are, so you've got enough light there to see and get your boots on and get out and land your fish. So again, if you get anything that goes on for about 4 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, it kicks in. It'll ignore like single pulses and stuff, so you don't have to worry. But if you've got continuous activation for 4 seconds, it will go off. So that's great. And again, that's not memorized, so, you know, because it does drain your battery, so you can turn it on or off, or as soon as you turn the receiver off, it cancels it, and it's just for using at night. What else we got? We've got D&D. D&D is probably one of the best features to go with the beat speed that well, we've certainly ever had on our products, and I think it's, you know, it's a great feature all round for anybody's alarm. So basically, what it is, it's a way of getting around the fact when, especially over the last few days, we've had these massive storms and the rain's shut down and everything's bouncing around, and you can see there I'm getting knocks. Let me just do that so you can see the red one. So, and the rain's hitting the line and you're getting tap, 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 beep, 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 and everything's bouncing around and going crazy. Now, you don't want to get out and turn all the responses down and get absolutely soaked. You know, you can see the sun behind the cloud. It's going to pass anytime soon. So D&D is your friend. All right. So tap, 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 tap. It misses all them. But as soon as I get anything that goes on for 4 seconds or more, it will kick in. So if I keep tapping that, I get a run. 2, 4. It kicks back in. So you're not going to miss any serious action. You might miss the odd single pulse, you know, if the fish has touched the line, but you're not getting all that craziness from the rain hitting or hailstones or anything, you know, severe weather for you know, that's going on, knowing that it's going to pass. It's not an excuse for not setting your alarms correctly, because if you're getting false beeps all day long, then you need to adjust. But it's for a short, sharp shower where the heavens open, everything's bouncing around, and you don't want to get out there and get wet. It will time out after 15 minutes, or you just turn that off, and now we're back to normal again. So that's another great feature. The receiver itself has you know, a range in a straight line of about 750 meters in line of sight. It's got 3 range settings, so you've got short range or function for when you're in your swim. So if I set it to short range, it's medium range out the box, or standard range, really is what it is, standard range out the box, which is, as I say, 750 in a straight line. Now we've set it to short range, which is about 50 meters, which is great for when you're by your rods, you're not going anywhere. You can really maximize your battery life and make the most. Bit like an eco button on your car when you're driving. If you feel like driving like Miss Daisy for the day, you can put eco on and you'll get loads of fuel economy. Bit the same as the short range. If I put it into standard range, which is 2, which is what it would be as soon as you turn it on, then that's your normal driving. So that's, you know, it's got loads of range, go up and down, do what you like, and, you know, battery life will still be good, but, you know, it's just doing what it normally does. If you want anything special, you put it into short range. What I can do is put it into boost. That's by holding push button 1 down. And now for 15 minutes, I've got an extra 15% more range. So sort of about 1,000 meters in a straight line of sight. And that's obviously you know, using maximum power on the receiver to give you maximum, you know, reception. And again, it's like having a boost button or turbo button on your car, or M Sport if you're lucky to have a fancy car. And it will just pick up that little extra bit further away, but it will time out after 15 minutes and then drop back to standard range. So you've got extra ranges on there. So again, some nice features. I'll put it back to how it comes out the box standard. So again, some nice features on there, on that receiver. Loads of battery life, masses of battery life on the alarms, even more than we've had previously. And we've always got good battery life, which is what we've always concentrated on. And so, you know, that's really the basis. There are functions, but if you think about them, the receiver has run light, it has D&D, you can change the vibration, and you can set the range. So 4 functions. There you go, 4 functions really of any consequence once you've done your pairing. And you can, okay, so you can turn the 4 main functions. There are the little things. You can turn the anti-theft on or off for sort of background. And you've also got last channel activation. So that will come up on there, last channel activation. If I do that one, is that on? There you go. And that goes out. I'll show you that it's got, you can press the button and it will show you last channel activated. So there's another little one, but that's not something you set, that's just something that is there. So that is all good. And again, the alarms, what have you got? You know, you've got the ability to change the tone, which is what you'd normally have. I'll just prove that that works. There you go. So now that was the purple one that went off last. So you can change the tone. You've got mute, you've got beep speed control, and you've got LED day night and LED brightness. So, you know, you're going to change the tone anyway. You turn it on and off with the buttons. Oh, and you've got stealth mode. And then, you know, they're not frontline. So your frontline ones are beep speed, mute, day night, and you can change the brightness. So that's 4 functions that you can change on the fly. And you can turn the IMU on and off. And there is also a range check facility as well. I'm not going to go through that now. It's not something you need very often, but you can check the range. So you could turn your alarm on into it will pulse and pulse and pulse, and you can walk away with the receiver to see how far you get if you really wanted to. So why don't we now have a look at setting the beep speed. So I'll give you an idea of how that works and why, and I'll switch to this camera. Hopefully that will work. Oh, let's put the right one on. There we go. So we're back up and running. Okay, so let's set it to how it would be out the box. So have done a whole thing on beep speed comparing it to the old TXI. So I'm not going to compare it today. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. So I'm not going to compare it to the other one. I'm just going to show you the basis of why we have it. So this mega sensitive, okay, mega responsive as we do now. It's the response to the line movement. So whenever you go fishing, you will set the response that you want to your setup, how quickly you want it to go off. If you're getting false bleeps, you need to turn the response down. So I'm tapping the bench here. And you need to do that really for each alarm. You can't just set all your alarms at 6 o'clock, say, and assume they're all going to be the same. Because there is slight variation from alarm to alarm. The sensor will be very slightly different. There's component variation. You've got line variation. You've got your setup. There's all slight differences. So you do need to just check. It won't be a dramatic difference. Maybe 10% or so different could be between alarms. So you just need to set each one based on, you know, a bit of pulling of the line to see how you want it set. If you're getting false bleeps, then turn it down. Always start a bit more responsive than you think, and then if you're getting false bleeps, you can turn it down. You don't want to, you know, have it set under too low and then miss stuff. And if I crank that right up, that'll be like a TXI Plus that we all know and love. But one of the downsides of a TXI Plus is that when we do use those high levels of sensitivity as it was, and this one on is response, when you do get those little knocks, it goes off, which is great because a wheel would never do that in a million years. And anybody that's watching this who's got roller buzzers, you are missing a trick if you're not using our indicators, because you're sitting there not knowing what's going on. But I will go, I've been into that before. But I get a knock. It could have been a run. It could have been a liner. I jump out my bivvy and, you know, I didn't know. So sometimes it's moved a tiny bit. Sometimes I've had a full run. So we said, well, that's, you know, we've got loads of sensitivity here, or loads of information on the sensor. How can we make it more usable? And we did that by beep speed. So now what we can do is, once we've set our response level, I can now adjust the beep speed to stop it going crazy, basically. So I get more of a speed relationship when the fish pulls. So if I turn this down, I can turn it from 1 to 8. I'll put it to level 1. So I've now put it to level 1. I haven't changed this control. I haven't changed how responsive it is. It's still very, very lively. You can see that as I'm tapping the line. But now I'm not getting anywhere near the same amount of beeps as I was getting when I had it in level 4. Just about hitting the warble. If I put it back to 4, let me stand up. If I put it back to 4, you can see the difference, how quickly it goes into the warble. If I put it back to 1, I'll put it into 2 now. 2 is probably where I would set it if I was fishing in this little setup where I'm fishing against the wall and want to catch, I don't know what it is. But if I put this in 2, it's just hitting the warble. But that's the idea. The idea is you really want it to only go into the warble when it's go time, when it's dinner time, when it's time to strike. If it's going into warble, I put it back to 4 again as the old plus range alarms. If it's going into warble there, it's not time to strike, because it's not. So you've got no information. The idea is now you can use much higher levels of response and know more about what's going on at the business end. So now you can tell the difference between those runs and those little knocks or liners. So you can start to use high response without, you know, jumping out your bivvy thinking when you're not. And it works the other way as well. I can increase the beep speed or turn down the response. So I'll leave it at 4. So you can see I've turned that down. If I increase the beep speed, say put it to 8. If I was fishing in really bad conditions, or maybe our European friends fishing on the canals where they turn the responses or sensitivity right down to allow for the barges to go past. I can now pull that, and it's not really, but if I get a run, I can get more beeps when I get some action. So if it was pulling off the bait runner, I could get it to warble more than I could if on the old one where I had to turn it right down, maybe got 1 or 2 beeps. So you can use it either way to get more out of the vibration sensing and get more out your fishing base and know more about what's going on at the business end. So let me come back to here. There's a lot of talking there, sorry, but I've tried to go into things as in depth as I can about the functions. You've seen how they work, you've seen what the buttons do. It's not that complicated, but the big things to take away are the beep speed, the response that allows you to adjust all in that one control, the fact that they're, in my opinion, far better looking. They're neat, they're 30% smaller, they're neat, tidy, they're far more better build quality than the old ones. The old ones were fantastic and lasted for 15 years, so we were definitely doing something right. But we've taken all that experience from 1992 right up to last year, put it all into one, and made one super reliable, fantastic, good alarm and receiver that has been thought about and had all the functions that you need to be able to fish effectively. It sounds as if there's lots on there, but they are very useful features, and guys that are using them are finding that the beat speed is the word game changers gets used quite a lot. I get messages saying that, and again with the D&D or run light, real handy features that help you use all these things more effectively, get the most out of the vibration sensing. That's the idea. In terms of cost, that's a set of 3 in a receiver is going to cost you $557 in retail. They're $149.99, and these are $134.99. They of course come with hard cases. I think you saw that at the beginning. So everything is there for you guys to use. All the hangers work, and everything is there for you to use. So coloured cases, I've just seen that part. Yes, coloured cases are very soon to be available. There's a little purple case and a blue case. We're just waiting on yellows, would you believe? Once we have the yellows done, then we will be able to release them. So I'm hoping that will be within the next couple of weeks. So yes, they should be done. Let's have a look. I can't get any RxD for my life of me near me. Crusade, don't know where you are. We are, it is exceptionally busy in terms of shops and ordering stuff. We're sending out as quick as we can. It's selling out as quick as we can make it, and we're making to order. We are on about a 2-week lead time on orders, and we are catching up day by day. So please, if you can't get one, get your order in with your shop, and they will get it in for you as quickly as we can. It shouldn't be a problem. Maybe planning to purchase Txi-D, but was wondering for it to pair with the receiver to purchase them worth. Yes, sorry, Danny. Who's that? Danny on YouTube. Sorry, just reading that. You can use any color combination with the receiver whatsoever. You can use all blue. The receiver takes 4 in each channel. I've done a whole thing on pairing. There's multi-channel pairing as well as single-channel pairing, so I can have up to 4 in each channel. I can have 24 TXIs on here. They don't have to match up. I can have all the blue coming out the purple. I can have all purple coming out the yellow. It doesn't matter. You just pair them to whichever colour you want, so you can have any combination you like. We've got any other questions? Let me go through. There's been a lot going on while I've been chatting. Having these only been adjusted with reaction sensitivity. We'd love to know more about the relationship with reaction dial and beat speed. I usually pipe fish, so hopefully Malcolm Peterson, you've seen what the beat speed does. I've done a more in-depth one on beat speed. If you go back on YouTube, all our videos are on there. I did a side-by-side comparison with the TXI Plus and the new TXI-D, so you can see exactly the difference, and I think that went down quite well. People could really see the benefit. What else we got? Any other questions? So simple battery in and use from the box. Yes, Ian Northwood, that is correct. Lee, can you put on what's this, Lee? Can you put that on your video when adding an additional alarm you've been using them? You need to clear the memory. It does say that on our videos. Again, our app, I haven't got my phone's been using the camera, but our app has got all bite-sized videos on there. It tells you all about pairing. It tells you every little breakdown of how to use the product. It's got quick guides for you guys who just need to know. But at the end of the day, you're going to change. Once you've set your beat speed, you're never going to change it, probably, because you're going to fish the same most of the time. So once you've found your magic number, that's it. Once you set your LED brightnesses, probably you'll never change them again. And once you set your tone, very rarely are you going to set your tone everywhere you go. I don't, but you know, some people might have a play with it. But yeah, you know, you can do it however you want. Sean Morgan or Morgan. Anyone having issues connecting to receiver? Mine won't connect. Which products are we talking about? And I can help you. Make sure you've done a mem clear. I have gone through that. We've just been talking about it, and then you can see. Just the microphone done that one. Any other questions? Each time I have to shower. If I have a shower venue as a shower block, I have to run to the loo for a wee. Yes, you can do that. If you want to put it in boost and you need to go for a wee, you can take your receiver with you. Can't condone you being away from your rods. What else we got? What else we got? Why doesn't Delkim sell to the public as well as stores? Gasfalton, we're a manufacturer, so you don't buy BMWs direct from BMW. You go to a car dealer. It's the same. Most manufacturers sell via retailers. You've got to support your retailers. You need to be able to go into retail stores. If everybody sold direct, there will be nowhere to go and get your fishing kit. I wake up in the morning and I need some hooks, or else I can't go fishing. Where am I going to go? So if you can't go in your local store and pick up something that day, you can get it mail order. That's tomorrow. Might not be able to go fishing tomorrow. I have to go to work. So that's why we support the stores as best we can, and everybody should be supporting the stores. I think it's proved how important our fishing tackle stores are, you know, local retailers, for what we've been up against at the moment. So if anybody else got any other questions, I have rattled on quite a bit today. The voice is going. I've tried to get through things as quick as I can, and give you as much in-depth information as I can on everything that's there. If you haven't got anything, I might give it a rest now and go. It's been a long day, but I hope that's given you an insight. Please, please, please look at our app. It's got all videos on there. It's got our YouTube page. It's got all more in-depth stuff. I've done stuff for out lockdown, and ever since we've got into all sorts of stuff. Beat speed, how to pair, the run lights, the D&Ds, the beep speeds. Sorry, I said that. The setting the responses, setting the LEDs. It's all there for you to look at again at your leisure. I've just given you an overview today. These are by far the best alarms we've ever made, and I'm not just saying that because they are. We put our heart and soul, 10 years of development went into making these, and they are as good as we could have hoped for. And they are selling, and they've really, really sold more than we could ever possibly believe in. And I think now people are starting to realise there's a big, you know, sort of a when we brought out new alarms, because they'd seen this one for 15 years and people don't like change. But now people have them and they're really seeing the difference. They are a beautiful alarm. They're made beautifully. They look great. They work perfectly. They have a fantastic digital radio which has loads of range, loads of penetration, great battery life. You've got beat speed that can help you use our vibration sensing far better than the TXI Plus could, so you can get even more out of it for all sorts of fishing, not just carp fishing. You've got extra security. You know, you've got all that you could possibly want in a bite alarm. So hopefully that helps you. Barney, I'm going to go and have a drink. Please message me directly on social media and I can answer your question if you've got one. No problem at all. Please, anybody who's got any more questions about any of our products, old or new, please get on social media. It's generally me that's answering the questions and I can help you out as best I can. Have a great evening. Have a great week. I'll be back again next Tuesday at 6:30 for Delkim Live. See you later, guys. Good night.